Welcome to Engineers Academy. Subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to receive the notification for the upcoming videos. Today in this lesson we are going to learn what are logarithmic plots and how are they plotted in MATLAB, right? So logarithmic scales are abbreviated as log scales, and they are widely used to represent a data set that covers a wide range of values, right? And they are also used to identify certain trends in data. So we will discuss both of these points, right? So let's suppose if we have this function, right? So we have this function y is a function of x, this function, right? And we have plotted this function for this range, right, from 0.1 to 10. So now when we use the simple plot function, that is the simple plot function, so we get this plot, right? So this graph, we can see that the trends are not visible clearly in this simple plot, right? So then what we do is that we plot a log plot, right? So what we use in MATLAB is that we use logarithmic plots in order to identify the trends and wide range of values, right? So now this is the logarithmic plot, right? So this is the log plot. So here we can see that from this is 10 raised to minus 1, so actually this is 0.1, right? So from 0.1 to 1 is, we can see that this is the trend, right? But here from 0.1 to 1 nothing is visible, we can't see. There is a peak until the between 30 and 35, and then there is a steep curve, right? So it is, the values are decreasing, right? So here it is clearly visible in the logarithmic plot that from 0.1 to 1 there is a gradual increase and then immediate increase, right? So until this point, and then as it reaches a value of 35, right? So this 35, right? So this is also 35. This is a log scale, right? So this is 10 raised to power 1 and this is 10 raised to power 2. So we need to understand this log plot, right? So this logarithmic scale, so 10 raised to power 2 means 100 and this means 10, right? So as we can see that there will be 9 divisions. So this is 10, right? So then this division will be 20, this will be 30, this will be 40, right? And this will be 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100, right? So automatically MATLAB does this, right? So when we use the log plot, so MATLAB plots it's logarithmically, right? And we get this data, this plot, right? So now as we can see that this is 10, 20, 30 and 40. So this peak is between 40 and 30, right? So in the actual plot this peak is at between 30 and 35, right? So it is between somewhere 30 and 40, right? So it is nearer to that 35 value, right? So as we can see that when we plot a logarithmic plot, so then we can see the minor details of a data, right? So here we can see, and here we can see that at 10 to the power 1, 10 to the power 1 means that 10, nearer to 10, right? So here it's not visible that where is 10, right? So near to 10 there is the least value of this function, right? So and then as we grow from 10 raised to power 1, from 10 to 100, the value increases and then the graph becomes smooth, right? So this is the benefit of using logarithmic plots, right? Now before going to plot this function in MATLAB, we will learn the log space function, right? So log space function. So as we have learned in the previous lesson, length space function, right? So we will discuss both of these functions now, right, in order to plot logarithmic plots as well. So log space function. So what is the function of log space? So let's see in MATLAB, right? So here as you people have see that this is x1 length space minus 1 to 2, 4. So we have already learned this, right? So what this function will do, length space linear space function, that it will generate 4 values between minus 1 and 2, and it will automatically calculate the spacing between minus 1 and 2, right? So what will be the spacing between minus 1 and 2 if there are 4 elements, right? So it will be final value minus initial value, so 2 minus 1, so it will be 3, right? And when there are 4 elements, so the spacing will be 3, right? So the difference of these two, so 2 minus 1, so it will be what, 3 divided by 3, so it will have a spacing of 1, right? So this is the result of this little script file, right? So we can see that the first value is minus 1, the last value is 2, and MATLAB automatically calculated that space between minus 1 and 2 for 4 elements, right? So these are those 4 elements, so minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. So the spacing between each element is 1, right, for 4 elements. And similarly, if this is x1, right, so if this is x1, right, so if I raise this x1 to the power of 10, right, so if I write 10 exponent this x1, right, so it will create this array, right. So 10 raised to the power minus 1 will be 0.1, 10 raised to the power 0 will be 1, 10 raised to the power 1 will be 10, and 10 raised to the power 2 will be 100, right. So when we write this, so we will get this, right. So we will raise these minus 1, 0, 1 and 2 values to the power of 10, so we will get this, right. And now if we use the log space function, so x is equal to log space, and we have used these arguments again, so minus 1, 2 and 4. But now this time what it will do is that it will directly create this result, right. So this is the shortcut of these two steps, right. So log space minus 1, 2, 4. So whenever we write between the values, that is the minimum value minus 1 and the maximum value 2 and the number of elements, so what it will do is that it will generate x values that are logarithmically spaced, right, 10 to the power. So this will generate the values between 10 raised to the power minus 1 and 10 raised to the power 2 and 4 elements between these two. So 10 raised to the power minus 1, 10 raised to the power 2 and 10 raised to the power 2 is 100. So it will generate 4 values between 0.1 and 100, right. So this is the function of this log space function, right. So I have combined all these three results in one comparison matrix, so in order to compare these, right. So now let me change this. Let's suppose if I write that this time I want to have 5 values, right. So let's suppose if I change this, so let's see the result, right. So if I run this, so now we can see that in order to have 5 elements between minus 1 and 2, we will have this spacing, that is 0.25 spacing. Similarly, 10 raised to the power, these values will give us this. And if we use the log space between minus 1, 2 and 5 elements, so it will directly give us this result, right. So in order to plot a logarithmic plots, what we will do is that we will generate logarithmically spaced values of x, and then we will evaluate the function for these logarithmically spaced values of x, right. So it's very important, you people should know it. Now if you want to plot that function, that already discussed function, this function, so this is y of x function, and we want to plot this function between 0.1 and 100, right. So we will simply plot this, right, and then we will use a logarithmic plot, right. So let's do it in MATLAB, right. So this is the script file. So this until this point it will create a simple linear rectilinear plot, right. So what I will do is that I will generate a row vector x1 from 0.1 to 100, right, and then this is the numerator of that y of x function, this is the denominator, right. So you people can now see it, right. And then I have created that function, that is y of x function, this is the square root of numerator divided by the denominator, right. So then what we will do is that we will use the subplot function, that is 1 to 1, plot this x1 versus y1, right. So now if I run this, let's compare it with the graph, right. So this is the subplot 1 to 1, so subplot 1 to 1, so it is the simple plot. So plot x1 y1, and r is the red color, line width 2, right, line width is 2, you people already know this, x label and y label, right. So while using this subplot function 1 to 1, we have plotted this simple plot of this function, right. But now when we want to plot a logarithmic plot, so what we will do, we will generate the x values from 10 raised to the power minus 1 to 10 raised to the power 2, right. So what we will do, that we will use the log space function between minus 1 to 2, right. So 10 raised to the power minus 1, we want to generate the x values between 10 raised to the power minus 1 to 10 raised to the power 2. So what is the 10 raised to the power minus 1? So 10 raised to the power minus 1 is, in other words, it's a 0.1 value. So these are 0.1 between the 0.1 and 100, right. So we have generated the x values between 0.1 and 100, and they are logarithmically spaced, right. So then we will use that again, that numerator, this time I have named it numerator 2 and then denominator, and then we will divide both of these. So these are repeat, right, again, but this time this y2 function will be evaluated for these logarithmically spaced x values, right. So then what we will use the subplot 1 to 2, so it will be the second plot, And this time, instead of this simple plot, what we will do, we will use a log plot, right? So we will write log. So MATLAB will automatically plot a log x values and log y values, right? So it will be a log plot, right? So it will be x, y2, and again the same commands, right? So now when we run this, so we get this, right? So this is the simple plot and this one is the log plot. So in log plot, we can see more detail of a given data, right? We can see the maximum of this plot and we can see the minimum of this plot, so we can see the extra details of this data, while in the simple plot we were unable to identify the maxima and minima and the x and y coordinates of maxima and minima, right? So it was difficult to identify. So in order to identify the small features of a given data, minute features of a given data, so what we will do, we will use a log space function and then we will use a log plot, right? So this is how we use a logarithmic plots, right? So now when we use the log plot, this is the log plot, so it has log scales on both axes. So these are the log scales on both axes. And then there are semi-log function in MATLAB as well. So if we use the semi-log x function, so only the x-axis value will be logarithmically spaced, and that will be the x-axis will be log scale, right? And if we use the semi-log y, right, so then the y-axis will be log scale, right? Now when we plot this function on a semi-log y plot, so what will be the result? So let's suppose if I take the log to the base 10 of this equation on both sides, right? So then this will be log to the base 10 25 e to the power 0.5x. This will be log to the base 10 y log 10 e to the power 0.5x plus log to the base 10 25, right? So if I simplify this, so what we will get, log 10y, and this, the power will come down, right? So it will be 0.5x log 10 e, and this is log to the base 10 25, right? So let's suppose if instead of this I write the capital Y, right? So this is, let's suppose, capital Y, and this will be 0.5x, and this will be equal to 1. Log to the base 10 e is 1, right? Plus, and let's suppose if this will be some constant, so if instead of constant I write it capital B, right? So as we can see, if we compare it with the equation of a linear line, so what is that equation? So that is y is equal to mx plus b, right? So now when we plot such functions on a semi-log y plots, so what we will get? We will get the linear line, right? So for this data, when we plot this function on a semi-log y plot, so we will get a straight line for this, right? And when we plot this on a simple plot, so that will be an exponential plot, right? So let's check. So I have this script file already written, that is y is equal to 25 e to the power 0.5x, right? And I have defined that x values from 0 to 3. So let me run this first. So as we can see, this is the comparison of both, right? So this is the simple plot, right? So the simple plot is an exponential function, we already know. But whenever we plot this function on a semi-log y plot, so we will get a straight line. And what is the syntax for semi-log? So we will write semi-log y, and if we write semi-log x, so then the x data will be logarithmically spaced, right? And MATLAB will take the log to the base 10 of x values, right? But here we have plotted this function, this y is equal to 25 e to the power 0.5x, and we have used the semi-log y function. So now these values are the log to the base 10 values of y, right? So now here we can see that this is x from 0 to 3. From 0 to 3, this is that y function. Subplot semi-log xy, right? So there is no need to explain it. Then again subplot, right? Only there is a difference of this semi-log y. We need to write semi-log y, and the rest is the same for that plot function, right? And similarly, this is again that simple plot, right? So we can see the comparison here, right? So such kind of functions are called exponential functions, right? So if we plot exponential functions on a semi-log y plot, so what we will get? we will always get a straight line like this, right? So here I have written this, that the logarithmic scales are widely used to identify certain trends in data. So whenever we have some experimental data and when we plot that data on a semi-log y plot, and if that comes to be a straight line, so this means that the data is distributed exponentially and the data represents an exponential function, right? This is the second property of that logarithmic plots, that we can use the logarithmic plots, logarithmic scales, to identify certain trends in the data, right? Now let's suppose if we have this function, so such kind of functions are called power functions, right? And this kind of functions are called exponential functions, right? So here is that independent variable, right? So that independent variable is in the power of some constant, right? So this is constant, right? And in this case, this is the independent variable and it is raised to the power of some constant, right? So these are called power functions, right? So now if we take log to the base 10 of this function of this equation on both sides, so let's suppose if I write log to the base 10y, and then this will be what? This will be 50. If I take log to the base 10 of this 15 x to the power 0.37, right? So log to the base 10 of y, and this will be log to the base 10 of x 0.37 plus log to the base 10 of 15, right? So it will be log to the base 10 of y, and this will be 0.37 log of 10x plus log of 1015, right? So let's suppose if I represent this log of to the base 10 by capital Y, so this will be capital Y 0.37, and let's suppose if this is capital X, right? And this is, let's suppose if this is a constant value, that is capital B. So now as we can see that this is also the equation of a linear line, right? So it is again y is equal to mx plus b, right? So if we compare this, so both of these are the equation of linear lines. So whenever when we plot a power function on a log-log plot, right? So here we can see this is log of x and log of y. So when both the x values and both the x and y values are logarithmically plotted on a logarithmic scale, so what we will get a straight line, right? So whenever we plot a power function on a log-log plot, so what we will get a straight line, right? So this is the example of this. So let's check this in MATLAB, right? So we have this 15x to the power this. So if I plot this, so let's see. So here we can see that this is again, it's a linear line, right? So let's plot this, compare this with the simple plot, right? So here I have written this subplot function, right? So this is subplot, and then for simple plot, what we will do is that we will generate x values and linearly spaced, right? And for the log-log function, log-log plot, what we will do, we will generate x values logarithmically spaced, right? So keep this in mind, right? And the function will remain the same, right? So what we will do is that we will find the y values for this x values, that is logarithmically spaced values, and for simple plot we will generate the x values, that is between 0.1 and 10 and 100 values, right? 100 elements, and then it will evaluate this y function, and then this will plot it, right? So this will be subplot second plot, and this will be the first plot. So if I run this, so now as we can see that this is a log-log plot, right? So this is logarithmically spaced x values, this is logarithmically spaced y value, right? So here we can see this is log scale, right? And while plotting this on a simple plot, so we get this plot, right? So it's a curved path, curved line, right? So we can see here, right? So whenever we plot such functions, these are power functions. So whenever we plot power functions on a log-log scale, so what we will get a linear line, right? So it's the benefit of logarithmic plots that we can know the trends of our data, right? So we can differentiate between the different trends of data. We can differentiate between the exponential functions and the power functions and the linear data, right? So we will use these logarithmic functions, these semi-log y function, semi-log x function in the next chapter, right? So in order to identify the experimental data, right? So again, I will repeat that whenever we want to plot a log-log plot, right? So what we will do, we will generate a log space, logarithmically spaced x values. Now there are some important points to be remembered, right? So when we are using the log scale, right? So it is important to remember the following points when using the log scales. So the first point is that you cannot plot negative numbers on a log scale. So we cannot plot a negative numbers on a log scale because the logarithm of a negative number is not defined as a real number, right? And we cannot also plot the number 0 on a log scale because log to the base 10, natural log of 0 is minus infinity, right? So we cannot plot number 0 on a log scale as well, right? So we must choose an appropriate small number as the lower limit on the plot, right? So let's suppose we will define that the smallest number is 0.001, right? So we will not use 0, right? So in our data. And secondly, it says that the tick mark labels on the log scales are the actual values being plotted. They are not the logarithms of the number, right? So let's check this. So what is the meaning of this? So let's suppose if I run this, let me run this. So as we can see that this is the semi-log y plot, right? So we can see that these are the actual values. This is the actual plot. So as we can see, these are the actual values. These are not logarithmically spaced values, right? So keep in mind that always the data will be the actual data, right? So let's suppose if this is when x is equal to 0, right? So the actual y data, the y value or the y coordinate is 40, right? And let's suppose if we have 1, right? So if this is 1, so it is somewhere between 80 and 60, right? But between 70 and 60, right? So as we can see, this is logarithmically spaced values, right? So it is 60 and this is 80. So this will be 65, 70, 75 and 80. So when x is 1, so it is 65 and 70, right? So it's between 70 and 60, right? So here as we can see that when we have plotted this function on a semi-log y plot logarithm scale, so we can see the minute details. So here it's not visible that where is that point between 60 and 80, but here we can see that it is between 65 and 70, right? So this is the benefit of using logarithmic plots, right? So always keep this in mind that the tick mark labels on a log scale are actual values being plotted. They are not the logarithms of a number. So some of the students always confuse this, right? So the values on a graph will always be the actual values, right? So until this point, I hope you people would have understood this logarithmic plots, semi-log y and log y function, right? Semi-log, you people can use the semi-log x function as well. We will use this semi-log x in the future lessons.